In this video, I'm going to explain how to draw a frequency distribution graph. This is a really useful little graph, which is particularly helpful if your independent variable has two values. So for example, in your fieldwork, you will very often compare something in two different sites. So for example, in this particular example, the student was comparing the length of an algae, so the length of a seaweed, at the two different beaches at the fieldwork centre. So their data table is super long, and then the graph would just be this, which is really, really dull. Now, for various reasons, it's often helpful to be able to see more clearly what the spread of the data within that is, and this here is a frequency distribution graph. So what you can see is that even though there are some areas of overlap here, very clearly visually that at Castle Beach, which is the orange ones, the length of the algae is shorter than at Jetty Beach, which are the blue ones. So I'm just going to now show you how you go about turning a data table like this into a frequency distribution graph. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to construct a much smaller, more sort of easy to manage table, which is this one, which is where you're dividing the length of the algae into even groups. So what you have to do is you have to go down your data and you have to look for the smallest value. So the smallest value would appear to be 2.9. Okay, so that tells you that 2 has to be your smallest value, and then you go down your data looking for your largest value, and your largest value there is 13. So that tells you what your largest value is, and so then I have constructed 6 classes from 2 to 3.9, 4 to 5.9, 6 to 7.9, 8 to 9.9, 10 to 11.9, and 12 to 13.9. And what you have to do in this situation is you have to make sure that your classes don't go 2 to 4, 4 to 6, because that is an overlap. So what you do instead is you just come down 1 decimal point. Now, what your classes are will vary massively depending on what your data shows, but that's essentially what you're trying to do. So then what you have to do is you have to count the things. So you will start off with Jetty Beach 2 to 3.9. So you're going down, you're looking for any value which is between 2 and 3.9, and in that case it's 0, and you're effectively doing a tally. So none, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've got 6 there. Now obviously normally what you would do is you wouldn't write it to the side of the things like that. You would simply turn this into a tally chart, so you'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but I'm just keeping the whole numbers for now. So then the next one is 4 to 5.9, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so you've got 16 there. And on this side, you've got 1, just the 1. So that you've got 1. Okay, so then 6 to 7.9. So we've got 1, 2, 3 there, and just quickly I can see just very speedily that that's the last one remaining, and that's just 1 in that one. Okay, so now we're on Jetty Beach, we're looking for 6 to 7.9, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we've got 6 there. So then 8 to 9.9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then 10 to 11.9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and 12 to 13.9 is then just the remaining ones, which is 1 and 2. Okay, 2, and then you've got 0 and 0. Okay, now I'm just going to put text, turn that into numbers here so I can copy it in. So 0, 1, 6, 12, 6, 2, and then 6, 16, let's see. No, computer crisis. 6, 16, 3, 1, 0, 0. Okay, so I'm just going to select my, just going to get rid of my writing. Okay, so then what I can do, I can just select my table like this and copy it into Excel like this, and it's brought some of the text with it, which is really unhelpful, but never mind. So I'm just going to get rid of that. I really don't need the tally chart. Oh, it's only brought the tally chart. Brilliant. Sorry about that. Back on track now. So you can see now I've got my tally chart into my Excel spreadsheet. So then what do I want to do? Well, what I want to do is I want to select the whole thing, and I want to go Insert, Graph, 2D column. Okay, now this time I've selected the names and not just the numbers, because I want to pick up Jetty and Castle. Didn't want Series 1 and Series 2. Okay, so then you just go through exactly the same process that we have been through now several times before. So we're going to add our axes titles. So this is going to be the excuse me, that's going to be the length of the algae. In millimeters, one presumes. And then this one is going to be the frequency. Okay, and then the title is going to be, this time it is a frequency distribution graph to show the lengths of algae on Jetty and Castle Beach. Okay, and there you have your wonderful graph all completed.